Brodes Media.
I wonder what every single Giants fan is thinking right now. This dude gets a damn hat trick. He gets over 100 yards with ease. This guy is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. And you just let him walk out your building and go right down 95 to the Philadelphia Eagles. You must be sick. You must be just as sick as their damn loser owner. What a win for the Eagles. Let me say this right off the top here. On Thursday night, opening day, I watched the Kansas City Chiefs win because of a big toe. Week 1 is weird. Week 1 is strange. And it gets even stranger when you fly 10 hours, you go to Brazil, you play on a piece of grass that sucks, and everybody's slipping nonstop. So it is going to be a bizarre situation. You just have to find a way to win. I don't care if it's greasy. I don't care if there's ugly moments. And guess what? There definitely were, and we'll talk about it. But what is most important is starting out 1-0 on the season, because 0-1 adds insane amount of pressure. When you go into your second game, you can't start 0-2. That would be abysmal. Everyone gets tight. There's this poor bad feeling at the NovaCare complex all week. No. I want to party on that damn plane. All right, I want to party after this one in the locker room because you earned it. That last drive, while Jalen probably could have been picked off for a third time, but luckily A.J. Brown played good-ass defense. Hey, you hit Devontae Smith with a couple of nice throws. I thought Jalen was a very mixed bag. And that brings us to our Bleacher Report poll question of the show. And I'm only giving you 2 options because I think there's only 2 fair options for this question. How would you describe Jalen Hurts' game? Great or good? Because I saw some out there as soon as the game ended saying, wow, Jalen made some really elite passes out there. And he did. No doubt about it. That pass to Saquon Barkley in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game was gross. That pass to A.J. Brown to start the second half was filthy. As I alluded to, that fourth quarter drive to keep the possession in the Eagles' hands while there was a penalty on the Packers that helped keep you moving a little bit, and there was a missed field goal that changed things around a tad. It wasn't perfect by any means from Jalen, but there are some that are looking at a lot of the positives and feel like that is enough to outweigh the negatives, and labeling it great is what they saw out there. I'm not there. My answer would be good because I can't forget about the mistakes. When he's throwing an interception in the end zone, playing hero ball for whatever reason, when the score is 31-26, that cannot happen. When he took a sack right before the first half, even though the Eagles got a field goal, so points right before half, and follow that up with the A.J. Brown touchdown at the start of the second half, you can't take a sack. You can't take a sack. I want real shots at the end zone. And don't even get me started on the 3rd and 15 to start the game off with the turnover of throwing it over the middle of the field where there was maybe triple coverage going on, like 3 guys surrounding the Eagles out there when he's throwing it over the middle of the field. I thought that was a disaster. So by no means was it super solid from Jalen Hurts, but I definitely would label it a good game. He almost got picked off one play earlier when it was 31-26 with the pick in the end zone. One play earlier on the left side of the field. So he probably could have been intercepted 4 times in this one. His decision-making needs to be cleaned up. The fumble on the push-tush, I don't know. But I don't want to rule out all of the solid things I saw. Fourth quarter, using his legs, getting the first down. His legs wasn't great in this one, and you could tell that the Packers were trying to limit him as a runner. So let's just keep feeding Saquon Barkley, please, because nobody can stop him. There were times where I adamantly jumped off the couch and went, go, 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 go. I mean, he's seeing holes behind Mekhi Becton that he hasn't seen ever in his NFL career playing for the garbage Giants. And then when he has a one-on-one situation, he just has a filthy dance move, a sensational cut to his right, and he could just beat defenders one-on-one. You watched every skill position player that we said is impossible to defend have really sharp moments, whether it's Saquon, whether it's AJ, and whether it's Devontae Smith. Good luck. They didn't even get Dallas Goedert really grooving yet. Wait until that becomes an added layer to this offense. You know what cracks me up, though? What cracks me up is Nick Sirianni seriously said to everybody that motion's dumb. Oh, my God. That's how our head coach feels. Yo, dude, I hate to break it to you. Did you watch? Did you watch? Did you see what Kellen Moore is able to do? What frees up some of this offense and what frees up some of your skill position players is the pre-snap movement. I know that might be a little too much for you to understand. I know that may be a little bit difficult for you to absorb that information, but I'm watching Dotson go to the right side of the field. I'm watching A.J. Brown run routes that free up guys in space. Now Saquon's open and they're able to utilize matchups and take advantage of linebackers. It's crazy what real, legitimate, smart NFL football schematics do. And I watched it happen for a lot of plays. Devontae Smith is wide open in the middle of the field because of the design. It's crazy. It's so damn crazy. I'm watching Jalen Hurts and his ability to utilize the movement pre-snap and all this design to get free opportunities over the middle of the field. It is unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. Thank you, Kellen Moore, for showing me exactly what it's all about to have real knowledge of NFL football. All right, let's take a look at some of these other positives in the game. Zach Bond could play. You know, I was a little harsh on the Eagles because they were shoving him down our throat in all of training camp. And I made it very clear, this guy better be the second coming of Jesus. Swear to God, he better be one of the greatest in the world. Now, obviously, I don't think he's the greatest in the world. But guess what? This guy makes plays. The way the game finished, unfortunately, Jordan Love got hurt, and I really hope that it's not as bad as it looked, but it did not look pretty. Zach Bond finishes the game off with a monster tackle. He was everywhere. He was the reason why the interception where Reed Blankenship caught it even happened, because of his ability to get back in the middle of the field, the way he used his arms to get the, sort of in the lane, to get his hands in the path and in the lane of the ball. And then Reed Blankenship was able to make a nice jump on it. But that all happened because of Zach Bond. Zach Bond was everywhere. And I have concerns with the way that this whole Devin White thing is being handled. I don't even know if we ever will see Devin White. That's how much I thought that was an absolute disaster, with him randomly popping up with an injury, him not even flying with the team. I think something happened behind the scenes, and I'm sure we'll get some more information on that in a little bit. But the reason I bring that up is I thought Nakobe Dean, mixed bag, when he goes downhill, he's not afraid to bring the boom. You saw him have a monster hit stick and a fantastic tackle there. I got to tell you, though, I am very disappointed in not being able to take that pick six to the house, because the second he failed in that spot, the Packers responded. And there's two ways to look at it. You could either be like me, which is extremely disappointed that he failed in that position, or you could be like some of others out there that think he's constantly putting himself in the right position. And eventually, as he continues to get his feet wet and he feels more confident and more comfortable out there, he will take advantages of those poor throws and whatnot. And I hope so. I hope so. There's no doubt more snaps, more playing time, more availability, because he's been injured so much, will absolutely put him in a position, hopefully, to feel like a Nakobe Dean that can take over. But you can't mess up that pick six. That pick six is a game-changing drop. The game is on the line. You could put the Packers away, and you can just shut them down big time way earlier than making us sweat it out. And he dropped it. He dropped it, and that can't happen. And he's not very good in coverage either. So a mixed bag. Some really good stuff out of Nakobe Dean and some things that make me really scratch my head and angry. Moving along, though, I thought Quinyon Mitchell, as we bounce around and talk about the highs and the lows of this win, I thought Quinyon Mitchell was making plays everywhere. He made the one mistake where he got beat over the top there, and it was a big explosive play for Green Bay. But other than that, he was everywhere. And not only was he everywhere and in the right spots and breaking up passes and you name it, just good, solid coverage, forcing Jordan Love to have to drop a dime or put the ball perfectly, and he clearly wasn't doing that. I thought Jordan Love, he kind of missed a lot of guys and left a lot of meat on the bones out there over the middle. He would throw it behind somebody as they were running their route towards the middle of the field. He'd force them to have to stop and sort of, go to the left side of their body or the right side of their body. Yeah, the right side, and it was put behind them. I thought he missed some throws out there that probably at the end of last season he would make, but I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Quinyon Mitchell, though, he was willing to get in the face of people. You hear it all the time about camp that he was in the face of A.J. Brown. He was in the face of Devontae Smith. He was willing to go after the number one receivers and the top tier targets on your offense. And he wouldn't shut up. He'd say your route was trash. He'd say that you're not good enough, whether they are or not. But that's the mentality you need to have as a number one corner. It's a shame because I would have loved to seen him play the slot, and we hopefully will eventually get to see Isaiah Rodgers play on the opposite side of Darius Slay. And Darius Slay even had a nice hit stick that forced a fumble. It's just unfortunate that the Packers jumped on it, and it was close to the line of scrimmage there, and it's just a shame that we weren't able to jump on the loose pigskin. I would have loved to seen Quinyon Mitchell play in the slot and get Avonte Maddox off the field, because they were attacking him. They were getting after him early, and you could tell that he was not feeling good. All right. He was not feeling like the Avonte Maddox that we have felt normal with when Avonte Maddox is at the top of his game. They were saying, yeah, we won't mind attacking that man out there. And I wish he wasn't out there as much as he was. I got to give a lot of props to this defense, though, because when all the turnovers were going on, it was absolutely heading in the direction of the Green Bay Packers just taking control. And Vic Fangio earned his paycheck big time. Keeping the Packers out of the end zone and not putting up 7 points, instead kicking field goals. It's 6-0. It feels it should be 20-0. It's 6-0, and this offense sucked. This offense was turning the ball over. Cam Jurgens doesn't know when he's supposed to snap it. Jalen Hurts, it hits him in his chest. The ball goes on the ground. He's throwing an interception as well on 3rd and long when he's in his own end zone there. I mean, that was bad. That's as bad as you can draw it up. That is as pitiful gets. And most teams could really punch you in the jaw and go up potentially 21-0. They can score 3 touchdowns or so, and you are really screwed. Instead, Vic Fangio, the defense just looked super real in those particular times after the turnovers happened. There is one area of concern for me with the defense. I thought they got gashed pretty good when the Packers tried to run the football. They could get exposed somewhat easily at times in that department, and hopefully that's something that Vic Fangio can clean up as the games continue to move forward here. And I guess we can get some pass rush too. Did Bryce Huff play? Bryce Huff was one of the biggest acquisitions of the offseason. You let Hassan Reddick go, who accidentally, on a super bad year, gets double-digit sacks, and you let him go because Bryce Huff is supposed to be a game wrecker. I didn't see him at all. I saw a few nice plays from Jordan Davis. I saw some things from Jalen Carter outside of the penalties. I mean, stupid penalty because he was frustrated. And then there was the play where he was lined up wrong, right? Was it on an extra point? And then that pushed the Packers closer, so they decided to go for two. But the Eagles defense, once again, to their credit, really stepped up and helped this football team out to keep points off the board there. There's a lot of things I feel you can like. I guess a better way to put it is this. A lot of the areas were mixed bags. But when you look at a mixed bag, there's going to be a lot of good things in that bag. And for this to be week one, not that the bar is, hey, it doesn't look like last season, because it better not look like last season. If it looked like last season, then, you know what I'm saying? That's not the bar. The bar is to look like a real football team. And that shouldn't be something I praise you for. That should be something that's a standard. That should be the, I hope you look like a damn football team. Look how much money's getting thrown around, and look at the talent on your roster. So I don't really want to give them any sort of standing ovation just because, hey, at least I'm proud that it looked competent. Like, of course it should. It should look competent. There's no way in hell I can date back to last year and ever use any of that as some sort of comparison point. So, with the defense, their run defense wasn't necessarily awesome, but I like how they worked in the red zone and they didn't give up touchdowns after turnovers. I thought Jalen did a lot of great things out there. There's a lot to build off of here. There's some things that have to change, though. Part of the reason why I expected Jalen to make a huge step in the right direction this year is because, traditionally speaking, he does not make stupid decisions. He's smart with the football. I got a little backyard football hero ball in him today. We got to clean that up, Jalen. The snaps, him and Cam Jurgens. I think you realize big time that when you lose a Hall of Famer like Jason Kelce, there's going to be a learning curve and a learning period with Cam Jurgens. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to get on the same page. Right guard, playing right guard, that's not the same as being the one with Jalen Hurts and his hands underneath the ass. Got to get smoother there. They got to work out some of this Jalen Hurts running stuff so he could be a threat with the ball in his hands. But if Saquon is this special, you got to lean on him. Sometimes I thought they got away from him just a tad. It's 3 and 2 or 3rd and 2. It's, 3rd and short yardage. Let's not get too cute. Let's not overthink this. There's a man who wears number 26. He can go for over 100 yards blindfolded. And by the way, he already has 3 touchdowns this game. What are we doing? Why are we trying things that are a little more complicated than it needs to be? Hand the football off. Get under center and hand the football off. I like that play. That might be my new favorite play. Screw the tush push. Let Jalen go under center, and let's hand the rock off to Saquon. Saquon is scary as hell. We've seen some really good backs over the years. DeAndre Swift was a really good back. Miles Sanders had his issues, but he was a really good back. Not worth paying by the end of it, but still a really good back. Yo. These thighs, these hamstrings, those tree trunks. What? What? Just keep feeding him. I thought for a second at the very end they were going to get him his fourth. And honestly, I probably would have done it just to stick it to the Giants even more. What is their GM thinking? After Hard Knocks? Oh, man. All right, so those are sort of my thoughts on this one. That's pretty much instant reaction. Game just ended. Clock hit 0. I go live. Those are all the thoughts that are running through my head. I greatly appreciate you guys all kicking it with me here. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out on Bleacher Report. I greatly appreciate you all. And we'll be talking very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your night.